Monday Night Raw took place tonight. You had the first official Raw in the Thunderdome, and of course this is the aftermath, the show after SummerSlam, and also the go-home show to Payback, believe it or not. So they announced Asuka and Sasha will have a women's title lumberjack match. Apollo Crews and Bobby Lashley are having an arm wrestling contest, and Dominic and Ray are going up against Rey Mysterio and Murphy. They announced on SmackDown Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and Bray Wyatt have a contract signing for a triple threat match happening at Payback for the title. You had Drew McIntyre enter, and they aired a video package of his win last night. He said he beat Randy Orton because he was hungry and more determined than him. He knew that there were people who were desperate and wondered when they would get their next paycheck, and he went off on Orton. A pretty average promo. He posed on the stage, but Orton attacked him from behind. Orton chucked McIntyre into the video board before pushing him into guard position. Orton raked McIntyre in the eyes, and then he punched Drew McIntyre. So then after he punched him a second time. He takes Drew McIntyre out, probably taking him off TV for at least a week. But then they had McIntyre struggle to his feet after a break. He brushed off officials, and I thought that was just awful. They barely sold it. They had the Keith Lee video package. They showed Sarah Squibber interviewing Nia Jax backstage. She asked her what she's doing here, and Jax started yelling at Sarah, and she was just awful here. Nia was. Shayna Baszler shows up. She compared Nia Jax to haystacks. She says she looked like an Addams Family of Regret, and Baszler welcomed her back and left. I thought that was awful. So you had Shayna Baszler against Bayley. This isn't much of a match. You had Sasha Banks there. I guess Sasha, are they going to be on Raw every week now? I don't know. But man, just get them on. Just leave them on SmackDown. They need to be on every show. So what happened was Shayna went to the outside, and Nia Jax came out, and she went after Shayna and them, but DQ. They brawl, and then Sasha and Bayley look on and laugh. That caught Nia's attention, and Baszler saw, and they started taunting the champs instead of going after them. And Baszler and Jax look at each other. And I just thought, that was awful. I hope we don't get a tag match like that. It's Bayley and Sasha against Shayna and Nia. KO asked some guy where Aleister Black's locker room was, and he wanted to know if he was going to be on the KO show. He had KO show with Aleister Black, and this is Aleister Black's heel turn. They show what happened between Rollins and Murphy. Black hit him with an elbow and spinning kick to the head, and officials ran in to check on Owens, and Aleister Black basically marched off. So Aleister Black's officially a heel. I think that's definitely well needed for him something to do. They had Charlie Cross interview Sasha Banks and Bayley. They said Sasha said she would win her title back tonight, and then Bayley says they'll take care of Baszler and Jax. So that's a horrible tag that you have to fucking look forward to now at Payback. Hopefully Bayley and Sasha win that. Cesaro will beat Beltman. Eric Cesaro will defeat Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, and R-Truth to win the 24/7 title. Not much of a match here. First hour just was horrendous. Probably going to get beat up bad because they're going up against a convention. Randy Orton promo. It was very boring. I thought it was kind of stupid. I just didn't care much for it. He took out McIntyre, so we're waiting what's he going to do next. And of course, Keith Lee interrupts him. Keith Lee makes his debut, confronting Randy Orton. He introduced himself and presents an opportunity for Orton to bask in his glory. Orton smirked. Lee said Orton was the apex predator and a legend killer, but Lee was limitless. Lee figured out Orton wanted to fight tonight, and he was ready. And Orton says maybe later. So I guess that sets up at least a match in the future. They show Charlie Cruz interviews Zelina Vega backstage, and Zelina's always rude to Charlie because she knows Angel likes her, and Zelina's jealous of it. This was alright. So they announced Randy Orton and Keith Lee later tonight. He had Montez Ford defeat Angel Garza. Very average match. I don't care about this. I was just bored watching it. They show Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax are both angry to have to team with each other. And I just thought, this is just the worst shit I've ever seen. Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Bianca Belair agreed to beat up Iconics and Zelina Vega. So I guess it's Bianca Belair in the Riot Squad now. I guess she changed this weapon, but yeah, Bianca, Ruby, and Liv against Lena Vega and the Iconics. So this was alright. The Riot Squad. No Sarah Logan, I guess. She's pregnant anyway. She was released, but she's pregnant anyway, so she won't come back. This was alright. You had Bianca Belair defeat Zelina Vega. She puts her in a KOD for the pinfall. I want to see Bianca Belair do that, like that military press where she keeps lifting up the girl like over and over again. She did it once to Candice Ray and XCM were being blown away by it. She hasn't done on the main roster. Zelina Vega is perfect for that because she's so tiny. Cedric Alexander beat Ricochet in an arm wrestling contest. This is awful. He had Mark Henry there, and just the size difference there was bad. Because Henry's so much bigger than these guys. MVP shows up, and I just thought this stuff was awful. You had Bobby Lashley against Apollo Crews arm wrestling contest. You had Crews stomp on Lashley's foot and slammed his head down to win the contest. And I guess, I don't know, I just thought this was just awful. I just thought some of the stuff is just some of the worst stuff I've ever seen in a while. Video recap of Dominic and Seth, awful. Charlie Cruz interviews the Mysterio family. Ray and Andrew are proud of Dominic. Ray called Rollins one of the most dangerous superstars, but Dominic gave him hell. Dominic admitted he was terrified, but his family gave him the best courage to do it. Ray said Rollins didn't underestimate that about his family. They have a long Natalia segment. I did not care about this. This is just awful. I can't care. They mocked Mickie James. They want to retire her. And Mickie attacked them both. They go to Raw Underground. Lashley beat up some guy and choked him out. Was they going to got in the ring to face Lashley? I don't care about this stuff. Keith Lee defeated Randy Orton by DQ next. Keith Lee has a new generic theme, and he wrestles, I don't know, it's not, oh man, he even had a shirt on. I guess, Vince thinks he's fat. I don't know. This was alright. This was very average. This was not much to see here. It's alright. Keith Lee's ruined. That's what I was thinking. Keith Lee's ruined. What happened was, Drew McIntyre ran into the ring. He goes after Orton, and he's pissed off. So I guess he no-sells the punt, which is just bullshit. It used to be the most devastating move ever. Now everyone no-sells it. Thanks, Sean. To recap, the Roman Reigns return and hype up SummerSlam and Payback. Drew McIntyre says he tells Charlie Cruz that he didn't need Keith fighting his battles. He's pissed Orton tried to end his career. McIntyre looking at the cameras, about to say something when Orton suddenly attacked him from behind, and he punted him another time. A million officials run in, and Orton just it's I hate how he no-sells it. It's annoying. So Asuka and Sasha Banks is next. This is a lumberjack match. All the women who were on the show were there, including except Nia Jax. We had Shayna there. You had pretty much all of them. You had the Riot Squad. You had Bianca Belair. You had the Iconics. Zelina. Pretty much everyone was there. They all, tried to stop Bayley, the baby faces. So Sasha was in control after the match. Not much of a match. I thought it was pretty average. Asuka knocked down Sasha and went after Bayley, hid behind a woman. Asuka knocked down a few of them, but Banks attacked from behind. Banks hit a frog splash for 2. Bayley went for a chair, but Baszler took her out. This distracted Banks. Asuka put her on the odds clock for the win. And that was it. We have Asuka still champ, and that's it for Sasuke and Sasha. So I guess Sasha goes back to being single belt. If she loses her another belt, and that'll be another short title reign too. And the ambulance carries Drew McIntyre away. I guess they're trying to set this up. They interviewed Keith Lee after. I guess Orton and Keith Lee is battle or payback. Lashley beats up Cedric Alexander backstage at the Hurt Business the Underground. This was kind of boring. Dominic and Rey Mysterio beat Seth Rollins and Murphy. No one went to a no DQ, a no contest. It got a decent length of time. It was alright. But then the lights go out, and that's Dominic except for a frog splash. They showed Retribution in the ring. Seth runs away. Ray tries to protect Dominic, but Retribution beats them both up, and they beat up everyone. They laid out the Mysterios as the bullying played, and Rollins and Murphy were shown watching from the stage. Retribution stands tall in a piece of shit episode of Raw. One of the worst episodes I've seen this year. Probably the worst show of the pandemic era, I think. This was just a fucking trash show. One of the worst shows they've done in a while. No excuses for it. I thought Monday Night Raw was a piece of fucking shit. It was horrible.